Oh yeah, she's that country girl who overcame the stigma that Southern women are barefoot, backwoods, and backwards. Now she's an articulate voice for conservative values and wisdom in America. Sitting on her front porch sharing common sense, here's Marnie.
Hi, welcome back to my front porch where we talk about common sense principles in America. Today I'd like to talk to you about something that is very near and dear to my husband's heart, to my father-in-law's heart, and that is environmentalism. With everything going on right now, there's a lot of hoopla about environmentalism in the news, and people really saying the government needs to do something about this, and well, they've been saying that for quite some time. Now, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I have not spent my life as an environmentalist. That's not something that has been a big deal for me. I love nature. I take care of nature when I'm in it. I clean up after myself. I'm not throwing trash around. I believe in protecting the beauty of nature very much. But I have not been a big advocate of government intervention in environmentalism, and I'm still not. When I very first started dating my husband, I knew he was an environmentalist. I thought, I can't even talk to him about my conservative constitutional principles. We were getting along so well, and I'm like, oh, I need to let him know I'm a constitutional conservative because this could really be a big problem for us. Well, when I finally broached the subject, I found out he is very conservative as well. He also is an environmentalist. And see, I didn't think the two could go together. I thought, okay, if you're an environmentalist, you're really liberal and you're going to protect the dirt dauber over, the people that live on a property, or you're going to want to take away people's land to protect a wetland, or, these drastic things that we see sometimes the government do that violate private ownership rights. And what I found out is he believes in taking personal responsibility for the environment. When he was young, he did not even have a driver's license till he was 24 because he felt that the combustion engine was doing damage to the environment. So he rode a bike everywhere until he was 24, and then worked so far away that he actually had to get a car and get a license at that point. So he's that much of an advocate of taking personal responsibility, doing something yourself. And I think that's the difference between what we're hearing clamoring, have the government fix it, have all these big things happen, when there are a lot of things we can do individually and personally. And if we would all take personal responsibility for taking care of nature, then these issues could be resolved. Let me give you some examples. And these are things that my husband has taught me to do since we've been married, things that I never would have thought to do. And I've got a whole list of them, and I'm going to share with you how you can take personal responsibility for the environment and do your part rather than just gripe that the government's not fixing things or that, things aren't happening fast enough. What can you do? First off, we recycle our garbage. Okay, most of the garbage we have around here has some plastic in it. If you buy a packaged product that's plastic, that can be recycled. A lot more things can be recycled than I thought. We recycle almost all of our garbage, the paper and the plastic. If it's a food item, we either compost it or give it to the dogs. There's a few things like chicken bones that we have to dispose of somewhere. But other than that, we're recycling almost everything. Another thing is we're using well water out here. That's what we had to have to be able to have water to this house. And so at first, the well water is still not good for drinking. It's just, no matter what we do to it, it's just not good for drinking. And so at first we were using plastic bottles, which my husband totally did not like, and I didn't like them piling up. So what we did is my sister has delivered water to her house, and so we called up the same company that she's using. They're already making a trip out here, and we got delivered bottled water, and that's been great because you reuse the bottles. You pay the deposit on the bottle, it's all being reused, and the water's being brought out. We have fresh water that way. So that solves our problem without putting a whole bunch of plastic bottles into the environment. Another thing that we do is we take our own bags to the grocery stores. We shop a lot at Aldi where you bring your own bags, or we have, those nylon or reusable bags that we use, and we take those with us whenever we go shopping. And as just for water purposes, my husband gathers rainwater from the gutters of the house, and we use that in our garden, so we're reusing the water in that way. He goes down to the creek. I've talked about this before. We have a creek that borders our property, and he'll get out on his canoe and pick up trash and, get rid of that, recycle that. Another thing that I have been concerned about is bees, the destruction of the bee population. I mean, really, we need pollinators. We need pollinators. So that is something even I've been very concerned about throughout my life, is we don't want to destroy the bees. What I've learned from him is there are a lot of other pollinators. While we don't have a really good luck with bees in this area, we are great with butterflies and hummingbirds and birds in general. And so my husband has been going through experimenting in our yard, growing different types of wildflowers, or he'll use brush piles to bring in the birds. And this summer we have sat out here and watched hummingbirds and butterflies and all kinds of fun insects and animals and birds that have come in because of the way he's done our yard. And he'll continue to do that as he experiments and sees what grows here. So there's ways that we, if everybody would consider maybe going from lawn to flowers and herbs, and I mean, a lot of the things around here we can eat. We've got basil everywhere and oregano everywhere and lemon balm and mint, and all these things attract pollinators. But we can eat most of this stuff too. So it's also, very healthy for you, and it's good for the environment. So, I mean, if people would take and create some area in their yard that would attract pollinators and feed them, that would be helping the environment. There's a whole Facebook group, by the way, on a pollinator group, how to bring pollinators into your yard. That might be a project you want to take on. Another thing that we do is we line dry our clothes in the summer. So we just strung a line on our front porch, and most of the laundry that we do, we just stick it out there instead of running the dryer, using up the electricity, heating up the house. We don't have to worry about cooling it as much when we line dry our clothes, and they're kind of fun. They smell fresh and summery. So what are some ways that you could integrate some of these things into your life just to start do them? At first I thought, this is going to be hard. We have to recycle everything, and now I'm like, yeah, we can recycle almost everything. The cans can go to the can pile, and the plastic goes to the plastic, and that doesn't leave us a whole lot of anything that we're actually putting in a landfill. What can you do individually? Instead of waiting for the government to fix it, what if we all just thought about it for ourselves and took care of our own little acre, so to speak? Take care of the things that we have control over and take personal responsibility. That's really what needs to happen, not all of this top-down force. It's not really going to happen from a top-down force. It's going to be from people teaching other people how to enjoy nature, how to love nature, how to appreciate nature. And that's a big thing that my husband does, is he really, really loves nature. You can visit him at natureguides.com, by the way. And he talks about, things like making your property self-sustainable, or bringing in pollinators, or how to take better care of the environment that we have. Because it's really, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. And so the Lord has made us stewards over this land, and we should take care of it. We don't want to just trash something that God gave us. But we also don't need it to be used as a way to manipulate and control populations either. We don't need to do that from a force perspective, but through education and a love for nature. And I think that will create more of a lasting impact than this more militant top-down approach. Y'all take care. God bless. Have a wonderful day.